Well, friends, shall we do this one last time here on Dolynny TV for the 23-24 NHL regular season? The Edmonton Oilers get set to play a hockey game on a weeknight as we get things settled up for what will be a long last. It's been a wild season. I'll do the before and after for you tomorrow, but it's been a wild 82 games that comes to a conclusion with number 82 this evening for the Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. The Oilers still undetermined who will be facing in that first round. We don't even have playoff dates yet from the last I checked. And well, guess what? As we sit currently, there's tickets going for $1,250 for a pair in the lower bowl. So we are well on our way to playoff season in Edmonton, friends. Obviously, Ice District Plaza about to get absolutely lit up, and as well, we're going to see that Scotiabank Fan Park get going as well. Peter, good evening to you as we'll get things rolling here this evening, friends. What do you need to know? Not much. It ain't going to be much of a show from the Edmonton Oilers. The only storyline in the hockey game, I guess you could say, is the fact that somehow, someway, I guess the Oilers could get home ice in the third round, I think it is, if they were to face Colorado by winning against Colorado here tonight. So there is something at least to be said to some degree for the Edmonton Oilers tonight with a win. So that's where we're at. Magic Tony, Joe, welcome aboard as we are about set to obviously get things going for the last regular season live stream of the 23-24 year. Usually I try and take a look at how the last year ended up, how Game 82's stream went last year. We didn't exactly have time to do that today. You see, went out and finally did what I was talking about there for several weeks, upgraded the chair. That's why there was no live stream last night. I quite simply could not stand to sit in the old chair much longer. Padding had worn out. It was kind of useless at this point and given my back some issues, and now here we are comfy in the new chair ready to call some playoff hockey. And oh, by the way, I shouldn't be falling out of this one because it's new. So we should be set up for a good time. So here we go, friends. Yeah, we're about set for the Oilers and the Avalanche to get underway here around 7:30. So we've got ourselves a little bit of time still, about 13 minutes to go before things truly kick off here this evening. So sit back, relax, enjoy. We've got some time before things get too serious today. Obviously, yesterday, send off to the Arizona Coyotes, in which the Edmonton Oilers could not find a way to win the hockey game, if that makes sense, right? It was kind of tough right there. The Oilers unable to find a way to win that one, although that one all told really wasn't going to be a win for the Oilers no matter what, because end of the day Arizona was going out with a bang, and that they did. And end to the Arizona Coyotes version 1, I guess you could say, is what we've been promised. So we'll see if that holds true as time wears on here over the next several years as we approach, well, I guess that would kind of take us into 2030 probably for Alex Murrow and the Arizona Coyotes ownership to get a team back in Arizona. Utah now officially in the NHL. What they'll be called, what they'll go as, who knows, but Utah for now is what they will be known as. So, Jade, welcome aboard, and yeah, it's just where we're sitting right now, friends. Obviously, not much to realistically recap from that Arizona game, right? I think the biggest thing out of that, based on the storyline that I saw, was Philip Broberg getting an assist on Warren Foegele's 20th of the season. Those two linking up for a point together is pretty important, I think, for the Oilers, especially knowing that Philip Broberg spent most of the year now in the minors, and he was able to come back and get a point back in the Oilers lineup, and now will be the number 8 de facto defenseman the rest of the way home. So let me see, friends. I got to take just a second to go check on the animals, and I'm sure they would like to grab a little something to eat. As that should do the trick, and we're back and ready to roll. See, you get the nice shot of the new fancy chair, you could say, is picked that up today, and it's exciting to have something new to sit in for the playoffs. I'm looking forward to having the lower back pain problem solved by not being A, crooked in my chair anymore, and B, being able to really sit back and relax everything as we watch an Edmonton Oilers hockey game this playoffs time, right? We got a long time to go. I don't think I know the last time I've done a full live stream that went to overtime and all that. And of course, if the Oilers go to overtime, we want to be able to get through all of it because that's when the big time show really kicks off. So Michael, welcome aboard. So we are rolling here for what should be the rest of the pregame. We're about 10 minutes out from the broadcast, flipping over to the Oilers and Avalanche to end the regular season for the Edmonton Oilers. It is wild to think where we are now. Obviously, too, I look at kind of how the beard's looking. I kind of look at how my eyes are looking. I look at all that, and I think back, how long ago was it truly that we started this NHL season? And I'll just quickly do a quick scroll through here to go back several months to where we were back in, let's say, the start of the season. Kind of looking here. So there it is. Let's go back to the Edmonton Oilers versus Vancouver Canucks game here. This should be absolute dynamite gold here, I think, one would I figure. As we'll go here and see what we got. Oh yeah, we had the glasses, we had the hair actually styled. The beard was about the same as it is now, so we haven't really seen much at all, except for the hair might be a little bit longer, all told, friends. So nothing major, so let's quickly do that then and get these things on and really get into playoff and regular season form one last time as the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche get underway here in a little bit. So the Oilers, obviously, just a win here tonight secures home ice in round 3. So you'd have home ice in round 1. You'd probably lose home ice in round 2. And then you'd have home ice again in round 3. And then probably be without it in round 4 as well, knowing that one of the big boys in the East is likely to come out of the East at some point here this offseason. So pretty much the entire top scoring guys for the Edmonton Oilers, I think it's the top 7 scorers for the Oilers are out of the lineup tonight. So that's exciting to see for the younger guys, the more, I guess you could say, the role players, the depth players, see what they are able to do for us here in this game this evening. And Michael, the Preds probably beat the Canucks again. I know if I count the Canucks out, that's when they're going to roll things, especially roll through the Predators and then roll through us. So I don't want to say the Canucks aren't going to be able to do anything in round 1, but to that accord, what I will tell you is my buddy that's a Canucks fan at work, he is pretty concerned about the Oilers having to face the Nashville Predators. So we'll see how that all shakes out here as we go through the next 2.5 weeks or whatever it truly ends up being for the NHL playoffs here, kicking off on Saturday. I know the Western Conference matchups likely not start till Sunday, if not maybe even Monday for most of them. So see where that goes as we enjoy things along here tonight. And right now let's welcome in Mark as well, just joining the chat right now. But for the Oilers right now, I think the big thing is when it comes to home ice, don't worry about it too much, is what Louis DeBrusque was saying on 6:30 Ched's Oilers Now with Bob Stauffer today. It was one of those things, if the Oilers truly are the team that they've promised they are, home ice ain't really going to matter because you get a split on the road and then you bring it home and you've pretty much got home ice the rest of the way anyway. So David, welcome back in. But we're rolling into what should be a fun one tonight, just to kind of close out the season on maybe a high note, if not just a high caliber opponent that the Oilers, if we're going to go deep, are likely to see in round 3, right? I think for any Oilers fan, if you're marking your most likely opponent in round 3, you know what, the Jets might beat the Avs, but I don't think the Jets make third round. So if you're ranking most likely matchups, it's probably the Avs in round 3 at this point anyway, right? Obviously, give me 5 days and let's talk about it again. But as it currently sits, I think it's the Avalanche as the number one team to face in the third round. Again, second round, like Michael's mentioning, I don't want to sit here and say that it's going to be the Canucks, but again, if I count out the Canucks, it's going to be them, and they're going to roll the Oilers. So I'll just leave that one open-ended for now. What we know in round one is still nothing as well. It could be the Knights, it could be the Kings, and if it's the Kings, I like my chances, but I'm also scared about my chances. If it's Vegas Golden Knights, you just got to go out there and prove that you're the cup-winning team, because you beat Vegas in the first round. The Oilers can do absolutely anything the rest of the way home. That much I know for sure. So we'll see where we go. But yeah, we're rolling along here, friends, into this last 5 minutes before the broadcast flips over. But Magic Winnipeg is a good bet for round 3-2. I think that Hellebuck can still steal him a couple of series. I just don't think Winnipeg overall is good enough. I mean, prove me wrong with the guys they acquired from the LA Kings for Pierre-Luc Dubois. I don't think they're good enough to sustain 2 rounds of winning hockey to get to round 3, especially having to go through the Avalanche and likely the Stars. But again, who knows exactly what will happen when it comes down to the NHL playoffs at the end of the day. Purple, welcome aboard as well. So we will see what happens here with the Oilers and Avalanche tonight. But I think what they mentioned on 6:30 Ched today about the Oilers possibly lining up, whether it be against Dallas or whether it be against Colorado, is when it comes down to figuring out how far Dallas and Colorado are going to go, is both goalies for each team, right? Ottinger and Georgiev were fantastic at the start of the year, but the numbers since and the numbers overall on the year kind of put them lower middle pack as goaltenders in the NHL of the 72 guys or whatever that qualified for those stats. So when it comes down to it, for me, I'm sitting there thinking, are the Oilers really going to have to worry about the Avalanche and Stars at the end of the day? We might talk a lot about it because they're good offensively, they're good defensively. But as an Oilers fan, if you ain't got goaltending in the playoffs, you ain't got nothing. So there is concern there that they might not be able to necessarily go as deep as one might think, just simply due to the fact that there is trouble in goaltending for both teams. That said, again, teams usually figure out the goaltending in the playoffs if everything else is good. So we'll see where that goes. But Michael, thoughts on Vegas getting healthy into the playoffs? Again, that's why I've said all along my preference is to play Vegas in round 1, just simply because you play Vegas in round 1, their guys are still kind of getting back into the swing. If they're back for like game 1, 2, or 3, they're just getting back into the swing, and you kind of have a chance to beat them down early while you're fully rested as well. So hopefully the Oilers, if they get that chance, take that opportunity, and if not, you go against the LA Kings and you just kind of hope from there that Vegas really doesn't have enough to stand the test in the Central Division, I guess you could say. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, too much to be decided right now for me personally to really talk about it on a long score, but it's kind of one of those situations where I think for Vegas is I just want to take my chances with them. First crack right away in the first round if we're going to ultimately have to face them. Now that said, round 3, that's a crapshoot, round getting into the Stanley Cup final from there. So who knows? But right now, I just kind of get me through tonight, get me into Saturday, Sunday, and then light me up. Let's go on Monday kind of deal is what I'm kind of looking at it right now for an Oilers perspective. Is I just kind of, it's been a grind here the past 2-3, pretty much basically coming back from Cold Lake, because you knew the Oilers were locked into a playoff spot. There was absolutely no way they weren't going to have a good shot at the division. Again, you lose to the Canucks, you lost that opportunity, whatever. But again, for the Oilers, is the things have been pretty much set in stone for this team since before I hiked north at the end of March for the U15 Tier 1 Female Hockey Alberta Provincial Championships. So yeah, it's been a grind because it's just cool. Okay, yeah, the Oilers are playing tonight, but I guess more or less for me, I had a feeling it's just meaningless, really doesn't matter too much, and yeah, and just is what it is what it is. So we are about set, friends, for this one to flip over. It's 7:29 on the clock. We're just about rolling into the pregame portion of this evening's broadcast on the actual broadcast portion, so that'll be awesome to see Gene one last time on the Oilers broadcast. I know Oilers Plus has a bunch of coverage for us, but unfortunately you're trying to flip too many tabs while live. That's not really going to work too well for everybody. So we're just going to roll through and get into the playoff the atmosphere here coming pretty soon, I think, honestly, right? I think we're just about there. It's Thursday. We're playing playoff hockey by either Sunday or Monday, and that's going to be a heck of a grind because you got to remember that those games start at 8 p.m. They usually tip off, puck drop, whatever you want to say, around 8:30. So we could be in for a long run here over the next few weeks. The only real hope the Oilers have is that they actually sweep the first round. That would be a pretty sweet situation. You only have to go through 4 games of 8 p.m. starts, and then maybe you get some luck and Predators beat the Canucks, and then maybe you get some earlier start times. I don't know. But for the final time, we get the Rogers Oilers Hockey on Sportsnet intro. And friends, we're about to kick off the Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers for one last time this season in the regular season at Ball Arena, Denver, Colorado, as the Edmonton Oilers get set to get things going. Ace, welcome aboard to the stream this evening as we are about set for the Oilers to walk in and obviously get this job going tonight. We're looking forward to try and get us winning, as Gene Principe's got the clipboard out. He means business. He's getting to work early on this broadcast here tonight as he's ready to get us going. So we're about ready to rock and roll here, friends, as we are sitting 5 forwards and 2 defensemen tonight. Are the Oilers. Gagne and Ernie are in the lineup this evening. So Ryan, Ernie, and Gagne are in. Nurse and Cece are, of course, up front. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nugent-Hopkins, and Kane are out of the lineup this evening. So let's see where the Oilers can kind of take that. And obviously, too, I buried the lead a little bit as the Oilers are 1 win away from a 5th 50-win season this year. So that's another special milestone that the Edmonton Oilers could find a way to get this year. And obviously, too, Vegas hosts Anaheim, LA hosts Chicago. A Vegas win places them 3rd in the Pacific Division. So if Vegas beats up Anaheim, well, they were going to play the Edmonton Oilers. If the LA Kings host the Chicago Blackhawks and get a victory, then they will be in the 3rd place as long as Vegas loses. So Vegas, any win gets them going here this evening. And obviously, too, Vegas with 34 regulation wins. So if Vegas loses in overtime and LA wins in regulation or overtime, then that would mean LA is our opponent as well. So 1 point away from tying the franchise record, 139 points. Peter Stastny has that record for the Colorado Avalanche way back in the day. I think that would probably be a Quebec Nordiques record, in fact, if I'm not being too incorrect on that one, as that will be an opportunity now for us to join Jack and Louie up in the broadcast booth. Avery, welcome aboard, as Gene Principe tearing up here a little bit, knowing that this is the last time he gets to do it for the 23-24 season. Awake, welcome aboard as well, as Jack Michaels and Louis DeBrusque welcome us into Ball Arena officially, as we are about set for this one to get to the anthems portion of the broadcast. And then, friends, we'll be off and running for a hockey game here this evening between the Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. The season turnaround, 5-12-1 on the year, the record since 44-14-5. The Oilers have lost 13 of their first 18 games and have lost 19 of their last 63. That is absolutely insane, right? I mean, end of the day, everybody said, oh, you're being too hard on him, Tyson. Ah, you're counting them out too early. Ah, I'm sorry. If you were going to tell me that, oh, they'll just have an 8-game win streak and a 16-game win streak and it'll solve everything. Again, everybody else would have laughed at you as well for saying the Oilers were going to win 16 games in a row to save their season. So, and oh, by the way, all during the streak, Oilers fans would be tearing them down saying they're not good enough anyway. Even though they're on a 15, 16-game win streak, they're still terrible. So that's where we were at points of this season, friends. And now at this point of the year, we get a chance to move forward and really come to the end of the year. No worse for wear, right? I think the Oilers have put us through the ringer this year, but we don't get things for free as an Oilers fan, and the fact that now we have an opportunity to go into the playoffs, home ice in round 1, possibly home ice in the 3rd round if we were to face Colorado, and obviously looking to really secure things here tonight with win possible number 50 on the season. So we're a few moments away. Obviously they're taking their time here. I think it's a nationally televised game in the United States here tonight, so that is kind of where we're going to have a few moments of preamble before we can truly really kick this one off this evening. So we're a few moments away from starting tonight, but looking forward to obviously getting things going this evening. Stuart Skinner, the goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers this year, tied for 3rd in the NHL in wins, by the way. Stuart Skinner, the guy that everybody thinks we should give up on, the guy everybody thinks is no good for anything. Well, I mean, you have to be pretty good somehow to get 36 or whatever it is wins in the NHL, and oh, by the way, be tied for 3rd in the league in the wins department as well. So pretty unbelievable what Stuart Skinner has done here this season. So let's quickly go here, friends, and get this going as we'll go here and all right, here we go. We're about set for this one, friends. They're doing a couple more commercial breaks, and then we should be ready to go. If you haven't already left a like on the stream, make sure to do that here in a matter of moments. As soon as we get to the anthems, I'll send you a quick commercial break, and then we'll get things officially kicked off because I got to get back into the rhythm of throwing those commercial breaks and knowing that I have a few seconds to check on things. Because, of course, yes, indeed, the old animals are going to be a pain in the butt, especially when, right, is you're getting to those 8 o'clock games. You know what it is on those Saturday nights and the Wednesday nights. You know how often the cats are rolling around and making a mess of everything. So we'll see if that indeed is the case again. And I know too that while we're encroaching on, well, obviously the territory where the kids start staying out on the streets a little bit later, so the dog gets a little bit excited sometimes when the kids are out there and he's seeing some motion out on the street, if you would. So we'll have to get back in the rhythm of throwing those commercial breaks to make up time somewhere to obviously get upstairs and calm down the situation. So friends, we're about set for this one. We're just about there. I mean, at some point we're going to get there. I promise you that. I almost guarantee it. I mean, unlike last stream, I know for a fact we're going to get to the game right away, so I can almost guarantee that shouldn't be an issue here tonight. And looks like we're going to go inside Ball Arena here this evening, right here, right now, as the Edmonton Oilers and the Arizona Coyotes, Colorado Avalanche. Arizona Coyotes don't exist anymore. What am I talking about? Defunct teams. The Colorado Avalanche are going to get things kicked off as Derek Ryan's back in the Edmonton Oilers lineup. Sam Gagner as well out there for the Edmonton Oilers. Sam Gagner likely to play a big part in the Oilers organization next year as well if all remains because of those value contracts and obviously how the Oilers kind of need those value contracts going of the NHL season next year. Also, let me know how the volume is on the stream. I know that got a couple of question marks there on the volume the last few streams, and I made sure to pump it up a little bit more for the season closing game here tonight. So let me know how it is. Send the feedback whenever you have a chance as we will bow down for the anthems here and get ready for this one to get going between the Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers this evening. but he's got a fake captaincy on his jersey. That's an interesting take on it, but okay. Just looks like a roll of black paint almost on his jersey, as we've got the anthem getting underway here in Colorado this evening. Amanda Hawkins leads us in the anthems for both countries right now, starting with O Canada. We're about set to get things going here this evening, friends, as the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche will close out game 82 of the Edmonton Oilers regular season. One that we all must be glad did not come to an end much sooner than it has. Obviously, the Oilers have plenty to play for yet, following tonight's season-closing game in the regular season, that is. So we're all better be thankful that the Oilers decided to, as I asked them to in the Fold the Franchise video, find me some guys that want to win, find me some guys that want to give two hoots about this, about winning and about cup or bust. Well, the Oilers decided to go out there after that and quickly get into those games against Carolina and the Washington Capitals, and right there turn their season around, and 14-3 or whatever it is ever since. So good work by the Oilers. Johnny, welcome aboard as well. Missed you there earlier. I think I got to your question, but I didn't welcome you into the stream, as we're about set to get things rolling here, friends. The U.S. National Anthem about ready to finish up, as we're just going through that, and then we will be ready to rock and roll this evening for the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche, as we are one game away from the big shows kicking off and then really truly getting things going for us here in the NHL playoffs. As Cale Makar on the ice for the Colorado Avalanche, playing game 82 of the season, and Cale Makar obviously has had a Norris caliber season, as he has had several years in a row here over the past few. So looking forward to seeing what he obviously brings in the NHL playoffs. Any game for the Avalanche that I can watch when Cale Makar is out there dancing around is always a good game. For those of you that don't know that connection, let me know to tell you that story in the first intermission, because that's a special one, near and dear to my heart right there, as this one is going to wrap up the anthems here in a matter of seconds, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll for this Edmonton Oilers hockey game that closes out what has been a stressful calendar, but one that has been rewarding nonetheless, as the Oilers are just about set to reward us with at least 4 playoff games, 2 of them at home, and then 2 on the road, and then whatever after that ain't guaranteed, but it's bonus house money from there, as the Oilers look to make something special of this NHL season. So here we go, friends, as we're about set to go here for this one, as the Avs and the Edmonton Oilers are ready to kick this one off. For puck drop, what are we at? 7:42. We were promised a 7:30 puck drop. Well, the NHL fully back in playoff form here, lying about start times as per usual. You can always say just 7:45 puck drop, and it worked just fine for me, as Stuart Skinner ready to get back into the crease for the Oilers one last time before the NHL playoffs. Justice Noonan in net for the Colorado Avalanche. He's actually been pretty solid. 235 goals against average, 925 save percentage. Helped out by a couple of shutouts, but still nonetheless pretty stellar stats for one Justice Noonan of the Colorado Avalanche. Face off at center ice here for the Oilers against the Avalanche. It's going to be Henrique Brown and Warren Foegele, your top line to start this hockey game, as we're underway here. Left-hand circle inside the Oilers zone. Home run pass through the middle, fired back into the Colorado Avalanche zone by Adam Henrique. Down in the corner, Taves turns and burns and is able to get it up to McKinnon. And the Colorado Avalanche quickly break out into the Oilers zone. Across the line, here's an opportunity to the far side for a pass. It's going to work out to Taves nonetheless, and comes on down for the Colorado Avalanche as they gear up here inside the Oilers zone. Here's Makar in on net, blocked by the stick of Henrique. One-timer off the post for Rantanen, and an opportunity now again for the Avalanche to set the attack up. That one hits Henrique once more, and he's able to bat it out into the middle of the ice as Brown, Henrique, and Foegele, your top line tonight. You've got Holloway, McLeod, Perry, your second line for this evening's game. That's been a solid line. Janmark, Ryan, Carrick, your third line, I guess you could say. And Ernie and Gagne, your fourth line, I guess 11 forwards, as Nurse and Ceci will take the top pairing minutes for this Oilers game. Stetcher and Kulak, your third pair, and Broberg, Desharnais, your third pair. I guess both of those pairs are technically third pairs. Who am I kidding? As this one's coming, and the Avs score just like that. It's a goal to the back of the net for AVALNCHE. Talking myself over it. Stuart Skinner didn't have much of a hope on that one, and that's not one of those pucks I want Stuart Skinner diving for in this hockey game. Anyway, as that was a tough beat there for the Oilers. They just kind of fell asleep and ended up getting beat on a puck bouncing off the wall. Quickly back to the point, down low. It hit somebody in front, moved it to the outside. Desharnais and Kulak turned inside out. Inside out, and then back of the net it went. So 1-0 there for the Colorado Avalanche. Not really going to see too much of a compete level from the Edmonton Oilers tonight anyway. They're going to be going through the motions quite heavily as Troy Stetcher with the puck now off the face-off at center ice as Nichushkin scores his 27th of the season. It's backhand into the middle. Lehkonen and Middlestat pick up the assist in the Avalanche across center ice down into the far side corner. Up the wall, picked up by Janmark. Janmark will push ahead. He's going to be knocked off the puck as the Avs really don't look like they're resting anyone here this evening, as this one's going to be picked up by Broberg inside his own zone, lifts off the boards and back to center ice. And this will be fired back in by the Colorado Avalanche near side corner as Stetcher will go battling there for the puck. CC rolling along the wall as well. Both teams tied up there, and it's free to Gagner in the middle of the ice inside the Oilers zone, lifting into the Avs zone. Down low comes Ernie. Ernie's going to backhand low to Gagner on the far side. That's not going to work out. McLeod interrupts and is able to fire it back down low. Adam Ernie, by the way, getting his first game in, I think, since the Heritage Classic, if I'm not mistaken, for Adam Ernie and the Edmonton Oilers. This one's played up off the wall, batted in, all the way down again to Noonan as the Avs quickly lead out, and Taves with an elusive little move out from behind the net gets the Avalanche across center ice into the zone. Taves has got it back. He can't get down the left wing to get a shot on. The Avs tip one through traffic just wide of the net there and fire it back in behind the net as Rantanen will look to make the play from behind. Shot right in front, blocked in front by the Oilers. And the Avalanche are more or less just toying with the spare parts of the Edmonton Oilers roster, as you would suspect one Rantanen and McKinnon to do. As this one's shot towards the net, Rantanen will deflect back, as this is just a kind of not even a good showing at all from the Edmonton Oilers here tonight, as this one is going to be Desharnais in the near side corner. 16:40 to go here in this first period of play, and Desharnais will look out from behind the net, bounce it up off the wall. Carrick bats along the wall there, trying to free that one up. Isn't able to be able to do it. Is he? Oh my goodness, that puck's tied up, and it goes to the far side corner for this one. Back into the middle of the ice now for the Oilers on the clear. The Avalanche to the near side. Puck across the line. One-timer opportunity wired up off a body and out of play. So that is where the Oilers find themselves down 1-0, 16-12 into this first period of play. And that is a shot just missed wide. A good tangle of the stick there by the Oilers to deflect that one wide there. And then that stick to deflected up over top of the net. So here we go. 16-12 to go in this first period of play. 1-0. Colorado leads the Oilers. As they will win the face-off, do the Oilers. Fire it up to center ice. The Oilers still without a shot. The Avalanche with only one shot in the hockey game, and it ended up back of the net. So both teams really lackluster action thus far. You're going to get D- level efforts here tonight, maybe except for Zach Parise busting down the right wing and trying to fire that one on net. Just about found the short side, turned away by Stuart Skinner near side inside the Avs zone now. Fired up the boards and tipped back into the middle of the ice by Perry, but couldn't quite do it to get it onto the tape of Dylan Holloway. And this one will be middle of the ice, pushed down low. And this one's hard to get up for, honestly, as Broberg, a turnover right in front, just about ended up in the feet of Stuart Skinner too long. Oilers were able to steer away, and Perry ate a high stick, No call up coming against the Colorado Avalanche. Far side pass, right on net. Back to the blue line here as it goes to the middle of the ice. And this is picked up by Corey Perry. And he will flip up for Derek Ryan into the feet of the linesman at the Avs blue line. 15:08 to go here in this first period of play. And the Oilers just kind of content to really do nothing much this hockey game thus far, as both teams really haven't done much of anything. The Avs got one golden opportunity, cashed it, and they're up 1-0 on 2 shots so far through this hockey game. Far side now for the Avalanche across the line, looking to make this play here and on net, and continues to battle there. Back to the middle of the ice as Gagner is going to flip this one off a stick and into Taves' area, as I don't even think that ever truly hit Gagner. He flipped his stick at it, but instead Taves is able to get the pass across, shot fired towards the near side, backhanded back up top, and the Oilers try to strip this puck away. Brown can't do it, and this one's back to the middle of the ice. The shot to the middle of the fired, save made by Skinner. 14:17 to go here in this first period of play. Far side pass, shot scored right there for the Colorado Avalanche, and it is 2-0 here for the Avs early on. Friends, this is, again, if you're watching this game for the Oilers to win this, I'm telling you they ain't winning this hockey game, and that was evident from the first drop of this puck. That was evident from resting your entire squad and the Colorado Avalanche keeping everybody in. It's not a fact that the Oilers don't really care. It's not a fact that the Avalanche are that much better. It's just a fact that at the end of the day, you just kind of have to not care about this one at all. Just go through the motions, make it look like you're at least competing, and allow the Avalanche to pad their stats, because you're just trying not to get injured for the first round of the playoffs, where you're likely to face the Vegas Golden Knights. That's the problem. So, yeah, there's really nothing to overanalyze here for the Edmonton Oilers tonight, as it's just going to be a beatdown by the Avalanche, like Ace predicted with that 6-2 Avs or whatever the score might be. I know it would be nice to see the Oilers do something here, but again, this isn't a momentum building game at all for the playoffs. This isn't anything for the playoffs. This game really means nothing going into the playoffs. This one is actually a detriment for the Oilers, that they have to play it more or less, just based on the fact that there is a chance, because you have to ice a roster, that you could have somebody end up getting injured. You could have somebody end up getting hurt and kind of missing some time in the playoffs, and you don't want to see that happen at all. So the Oilers, like I said, just going to going to go out there and go through the motions more or less. That's really all it comes down to. It was even Louis DeBrusque saying on the broadcast on 6:30 Ched's Oilers Now tonight. This one, like for the Oilers, yes, you could possibly get home ice out of this hockey game, but at the end of the day, are you really going to play a playoff game to get home ice in the third round when you're counting on the Avalanche essentially to make the third round just so as you have home ice? There's way too many variables in that one to really be able to sit there and say, yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to go get Connor in the lineup. We got to get Leon in the lineup. We got to have Ekholm out there so as he can get dummied by whatever goon on the Colorado Avalanche wants to take a swing at his head for injuring Rantanen earlier. It's just where it is, right? It's kind of one of those things. I'm not at all, in the very least, concerned about this hockey game. And again, friends, I'm going to sell you on, there's nothing over. If you want to get upset about tonight's hockey game, there's the door, quite honestly, because if your expectations were for the Oilers to play a playoff game tonight in Game 82, when they've been held in home ice for the past, 4 nights, 4 hockey games, again, you got your Barons mix tonight, friends. This is an opportunity to listen to Jack and Louie on the TV commentary one last time, and that's really all it comes down to. So that's where we're at this evening. So yeah, that's where we're at, friends. It's just, again, like if the Oilers had to try, sure, they'd try, but there's literally zero reason to try tonight. And at the end of the day is, I don't care what you think about Connor Brown, Ryan McLeod, Dylan Holloway, Warren Foegele, but if one of those guys gets injured, right, now you're testing your depth even more. So it's kind of tough. to be honest with you, is just, again, why would you risk injury for absolutely no reason? Rick, welcome aboard. Glad to see you. As I think I've missed a couple of people coming into the chat here. So we caught Everett, we caught Mr. Doom. BMAC, we missed you, and we missed Induced Comics as well. So that's where we're at. And Induced, we have dressed Ryan McLeod, who is our third line center tonight. Ryan McLeod centering Dylan Holloway and Mr. Corey Perry on the right side. So again, friends, if you want to overanalyze this one, go for it. Again, right? Calvin Pickard played last night, so that's why Stuart Skinner's starting this evening. I doubt you want to burn out or possibly risk injury, like we're talking about, to Mr. Calvin Pickard. So Rick, again, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Do appreciate that. And I mean, at the end of the day, I would much rather watch the Oilers go out there and have a fantastic playoffs than worry about what they did in Game 82 of the season. Look at the body language on Stuart Skinner this evening in this hockey game. He's just there to look like he's there, right? He's not trying anything extraneous, not trying to do anything too much overreaction to the puck. He's just going out there. If it hits him, it hits him. So we'll be fine here this evening, friends. But I really do. I mean, I really got nothing more to add to this one. And obviously, if the Oilers are going to get buried here in this first period, I'll just tune out after the first. So again, I didn't know what to fully expect tonight. Every hockey game can surprise you, but if this is what the Oilers want to do through one period of play, that's fine and dandy, right? Who cares? At the end of the day, I'd rather care about them winning Game 1 of the playoffs. That's the thing, right? I really need to see the Oilers win Game 1 of the playoffs this year. It's been, 5 series in a row that the Oilers have lost Game 1 of the playoffs. So, end of the day is if we win Game 1, we're gonna be good to go. And Patrick's just here for the Gagne Hattie. Well, that would preclude that the Edmonton Oilers get a shot at some point in this hockey game. So that's where we're at, right? 11:56 to go in this first period, and it's 3-0 for the Colorado Avalanche. So that's where it's at. And obviously, I mean, Scott, when it comes down to it, the Colorado Avalanche are playing all their stars tonight, sure, but they're also the home team, right? They're the home team. You want your fans to show up to the building. You want to sell tickets, butts in the seat, right? I doubt the Oilers would be resting 7 guys if they were closing the season at home. I would say that much for sure, right? On the road, who cares? It ain't my problem you don't sell seats, but again, for the Colorado Avalanche, I assume they at least need to sell some seats to close out the season. And I think, too, for the Colorado Avalanche, right, McKinnon's got a franchise record to play for tonight. And right, if the Avalanche want to go out there and risk injury to their guys, they're more than welcome to do that. I would gladly watch Darnell Nurse tonight rock Nathan McKinnon across the blue line and injure him for the playoffs. Hey, glad that didn't happen to Connor, right? That's all I can really say there, right? And that's why we're resting Matthias Ekholm. We didn't want any retribution for anything Matthias Ekholm did to Mikko Rantanen. So yeah. But yeah, this is where we're at, right? 140 points for McKinnon, so he got his franchise record. I don't know what Cale McCarr's playing for other than probably points to try and secure the Norris. As that's where we're at, friends. Shot fired towards Noonan. That'll be the Oilers' first shot of the game. And hey, now the Ice had a bad season this year. I actually don't know too much about what happened with the Ice's season this year. kind of obviously with everything going on with the Oilers, really never got in tune with the Junior B side of things. But I'm excited to obviously see what happens here with the Ice this next season. As I've heard there's some good plans to step things up, so looking forward to that. So the Oilers obviously only one shot in this hockey game. There's really not much to do, and the play-by-play, friends, it's paint drying out there right now. Obviously the playoff hockey style stuff once we get to that, but this one right now, all the Oilers are probably going to do is lay the body on the Avs the rest of the way home, and try and just take this one through. So. And there you have it, Patrick. Actually able to listen to the broadcast side of things, saying that the Avs want to ice a full lineup because they've been struggling and want to end the season on a strong note. So the Avs trying to put it all together here to try and get into the playoffs on the right note. And obviously that's what I was talking about earlier with the Georgiev thing. He's been a great goaltender for him over the past 2 years, but overall not that great this season all told. So hopefully for them to see something change here. But yeah, friends, we can just talk about food tonight. Well, that's 4-0 now for the Avs. That's why we're talking about the food idea. But yeah, this is Manson scoring the goal for them. And yeah, that's where we're at. I think that actually deflected off of Cody Cece's stick right there as that one kind of comes in. Yeah, I think it hits Cece on the way through, so that's where it is. It's kind of going bad to worse here overall. And I mean, thankfully, you know what, friends, we're somewhat upset about this one. We're somewhat disappointed by this one. Imagine if this was game 82, we'd missed the playoffs, and we were down 4-0 to the Colorado Avalanche right now. We'd feel pretty crummy about ourselves. We got 4 games of playoffs guaranteed starting either Sunday or Monday all the way through next week and the week after. So pretty excited to obviously see the Oilers be able to play some playoff hockey here tonight. So yeah, we're overall not too bad off tonight. The Avalanche obviously up 4-0 after 1 period of play. But this one now across for the Avs, looking in on net. There's a shot turned away by Skinner this time. Avs have four goals on 6 shots, up in that shooting percentage here, so you like to see it. But yeah, this is that's where we're at, friends. Is just kind of resting everybody and obviously not worrying too much about it, right? Just going through the motions right here. So oh, friends. Yeah, you know what? Let's just play with the net empty the whole game. That sounds like a good plan. Can't be any worse than it is now, right, Patrick? That is the tough part. Is, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm excited about this Oilers performance, but this has been tough thus far. So, and actually, here we go. Friends, what are we missing? What are we missing? Hello? What am I doing right now? What the heck am I doing right now? I'm sitting here live streaming, and I'm getting the text message. So, you must be streaming right now. So, yes, that is exactly where we are, friends. Yes, I'm streaming. So, that's kind of the tough part. Is I guess I should have known better. If we wanted a chance to win tonight, I shouldn't have streamed. Playoffs, different story when I live stream. But unfortunately, during the regular season, especially this back half of the year, anytime I've been streaming, it's been a rough go this year. So Um, yeah, it's kind of been silly thus far. It's just been a bad stretch of Oilers games recently. I think there was a stretch of 6 or 7 games in a row where every time I live streamed the Oilers, in the moments I was live streaming, never once had the lead. That's where it was. So kind of tough. It is what it is. You go through ebbs and flows, and yeah, this one's where it is, right? Obviously, Cogliano, 465 points in 1,294 NHL games. So that's where we are. We're just going to roll along for the next 8:37. I'll tune on out, friends, and we'll head out. I will tell you right now, I can tell you start to finish, this game was never going to get anything from Oilers fans to begin with anyway, as I know there's the regular bunch of us that get together every single night in, night out, but on the back end of the stream, we are in the late half of the first period. We had the full 15-minute pregame, plus it took an extra 12 minutes after 7:30 to drop the puck. We just crossed 500 views on the stream. Now, when I talk about the watch time and stuff, I don't usually tell you the views, but the views are used to calculate the watch time. And when I'm talking about 50 hours after the first period of play, that's where you're at, right? 502 times 3.7. Right now, we're at 30.95 hours on the stream. So, yeah, that's kind of how it's all shaken out, friends. It's a game where I don't think anyone extraneous that didn't have to be here wasn't planning on showing up anyway. So it's kind of how it's going to go. And obviously, too, we're going to have a lot of complaints, I'm sure, from everybody coming into the chat tonight. But it's kind of one of those things. There's not really much to worry about here tonight. It's really nothing that the Oilers were going to do. Even if the Oilers kept it close, they weren't going to win this hockey game. That's number one. And number two, even if the Oilers cared about winning, the Avs wouldn't let them. As I'm going to tell you, the Oilers, like Noonan's going out there and sprawling out and all that, but it is what it is. So it's going, but yeah, this is where it's at. I mean, you can overanalyze this if you want, but this isn't going to be anything that indicates anything for the Oilers here tonight, especially like Warren Fogel's getting robbed by a backup goaltender, sprawling out, trying to keep that .925 save percentage this year. That's pretty incredible effort there by Noonan, but it's all good. Scott, where's my favorite fishing hole up in Cold Lake? That would be Cold Lake, Alberta. Cold Lake, Alberta is the old fishing spot right off the marina. That's my favorite little place. They have a nice little weed bed right off the north side of the marina there, and lots of jackfish love congregating in the water right there, and it's always fun to try and catch those guys, and they put in a pretty good fight. So we'll keep on rolling here. So we're rolling along, friends. As yeah, we're rolling along again, friends. I mean, if you're gonna sit here and take it out on each other that the Oilers are losing this hockey game, I'm gonna tell you you're in the wrong idea, in the wrong mind space, because end of the day, this was a coaching decision to have this game go this way, and that's really all it comes down to. There's really not much that the Oilers wanted out of this game. There's not much that the Oilers needed out of this game. And the Colorado Avalanche, obviously, as Patrick noted, wanted to make sure they threw everything they had at the Oilers, just because they needed to get their season ended on the right note. The Oilers, they did everything they possibly could through just about 62 games is what it took to get the Oilers to where they wanted to be from the 18-game mark of the year. So 62 games realistically is all that the Oilers season came down to this year, and they aced the test. So that's where we're at. Is this one's going to be across the line now for the Oilers? They're on the power play here, but this one's going here. But I don't know what this power play is going to do here for the Oilers. Obviously missing even the B squad guys. Is this going to roll around here? Shot off the post there for the Oilers that time. Actually made me pay attention there for a moment, but yeah, really not much to analyze in this one so far. I mean, Stuart Skinner's literally just standing there. I think that's what the MO was for Stuart Skinner today. When Chris Knobloch told him he was starting, it's like, hey, Stu, just stand there, bud. Just stand there. Just be in the way. Just try and get that going. So, yeah, it's obviously been an adventure this year, Dean, and that's why I'm not even at all bothered by this. If you think I'm bothered, it's just by you guys being a little upset with this game. There's no reason to be upset tonight. And whoa, goodbye. Adios. Dylan Holloway with the goal, though. Dylan Holloway with the goal for the Oilers to make it 4-1. See? Comeback coming on. As Dylan Holloway scores the goal. See, this is where I should have been going. But, yeah, good goal there for Dylan Holloway with the tip in the slot. And, hey, if Dylan Holloway wants to tip it. Philip Broberg with the point shot, too. Let's get going, friends. You like to see that. Two Baco boys getting the job done tonight on the first goal of the game. As that's fantastic to see right there. And obviously now, right, everybody breathes a little bit easier. All right, so 4:32 to go in this first period of play. 6th goal this season for Dylan Holloway. Seems crazy that he's scoring all these goals, but 2 assists now for Philip Broberg, 13 for Brett Kulak. It's his 100th point of the year, so you like to see that. That's massive for the Oilers. Obviously getting some extra points for Broberg and for Kulak and for Holloway. And now we just roll along here for the last 4 minutes. Obviously, right, I was saying it was looking bleak. It's good to see some energy in the chat. And trust me, I'll have to save the spiel for when we're down 4-0 after the first period in game 3 or 4 of the series and say the game ain't over at that point. But now at least we'll draw a little bit of interest here to close out this period, and then away we go, friends, as there's really, again, still, the Oilers scored a goal, and it's probably about the best goal you're going to score tonight. I think other than a Corey Perry and a Sam Gagner goal, there's really not much else you're really going to cheer for this evening. As, yeah, that's where it is. So, .323 to go in the first period. We'll have a whistle. As Willie, is it disrespectful to play your backup today? I think for the Avalanche, not at all. I mean, you know the Oilers B squad's going to be out there, so why wouldn't you send your B goalie? And I think in terms of the Oilers too, or for the Avs actually, is Justice Noonan's had a heck of a season. Why not reward him with one last start? Because you know Georgiev is going to get all the starts the rest of the way home here. So for Noonan, what's been a weird start to the year, basically coming up and being the guy to back up Georgiev, he ends up really performing all year long and gets the last kick at the can. So you like to see it. Everett, you're gonna see the old Oilers here possibly storm back, right? Again, count them out and they do crazy things. We've learned that all too well. That's what made last year's playoffs fun. But what I'm going to sit here and tell you is the Oilers are probably going to score some goals tonight, just knowing that pucks go into the net when you least expect them to. But again, the Avalanche jumped out to a 4-0 lead for a reason, and I assume that's going to be the case here the rest of the way tonight. So Yeah, that's where we're at. Mr. Faircone, welcome in. Doug, I don't know if I caught you earlier, but as well, yeah, we're going to see where this goes. So we're just about to get things done as we've got a round of applause here inside the Ball Arena as they're saluting a couple of Oilers fans here on the stream right now as well. As we got, I don't know if this is just a shot of all, I don't know what this is. Patrick, you're going to have to communicate what this, oh, uh-oh. Looks like there was some kind of accident that happened. Okay, that makes sense. We'll have to figure that one out, but yeah, this is where we're at, friends. 3:17 to go here in this first period of play. Puck's flipped out of play by the Oilers immediately after coming back from commercial break. Vortex, welcome back. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs as well, right? That's all we're here for tonight is basically go through the motions just like the Oilers are and get ready for the playoffs. I wanted to test out the new chair, and I will tell you the new chair is awesome, friends. This thing kicks butt. This has been fantastic to have the new chair. Obviously much comfier to be sitting on, except for I've got the chair up just a little too high. Ooh, that's a little too low maybe. I don't know, we'll find out. But yeah, we're going here. As yeah, we're about to roll through this one here as we got 3 minutes exactly remaining. As action, they should have given Rodrigue the start tonight. I will tell you, I don't believe we could have done that. I think because we called up Adam Ernie and Sam Gagner and Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, right? You got to remember Dylan Holloway back a few weeks ago. Basically, you only get 4 call-ups after the trade deadline. That's an NHL rule that I know exists, and as far as we go there for the Oilers, they called up Gagner, Ernie, and obviously as well Broberg and Holloway. Now Broberg, Gagner, and Holloway were guarantees. Ernie, I think it was just a thank you for being a good soldier. And I think too, I don't think anybody would like to see Rodrigue's first NHL game come with this this happening tonight. So yeah, that's where we're at. 2:17 to go here in this first period. So we're just about up and done this one right now, and we'll get things going. But yeah, it's kind of tough the way the NHL does it at the end of the year, right? I think too, though, baseball used to be way more fun for it, right? The 40-man roster, the entire 40-man would come up when the team was out of the playoffs in September, whatever, but they've also clamped down. I think you can only have like a 28-man or 30-man roster in September, so that's something else right there as well. As McLeod just got denied on the doorstep there, as Patrick's mentioning, but this one, Anaheim and Vegas so far tied 0-0, so this is the tough part here for the Oilers this evening is no matter what you do, it's up to Vegas and LA in their games to win and decide to play you as the playoff opponents. So if Vegas wins at all, they are your first round. If the LA Kings win and Vegas loses, they are your first round opponents. So, and that's in any fashion as well. So $1:40 to go here in this first period of play. Broberg talking things over with McLeod, old buddies from Baco. And with first period to go here at 8-7, the shots on goal for Colorado. And then we'll get to the end of the stream here in a matter of moments. So, yeah, basically the top 7 scorers for the Edmonton Oilers are out of the lineup tonight. That's Kane, Bouchard, Nuge, Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl, Ekholm. Everybody's out of the lineup this evening. So everybody is sitting out, I guess you could say. So when you take 7 of the 18 regular players out of the lineup. 4-1 Colorado after 1 period of play. Kind of tells you where we're going to be, right? That explains it pretty well, I'd say. So, that's kind of where we're at. Is expectations needed. I mean, needed heavily to be tampered for this game, and I don't even think they were tampered enough, to be honest with you, as this one is being whipped around by the Avalanche, and Stuart Skinner making a couple good saves there. The Oilers trying to get this one out of the zone, can't quite do it. McKinnon's going to come over to Makar, and that'll allow the Oilers to fire it down with $1:05 to go in this first period of play. So we got $1:21 remaining on the Avalanche power play, friends. We're about a minute away from getting out of misery here on the live stream, at least, as it's been a tough goal. We'll recap the goal scorers after 1 period of play, and then we'll call it a night here between the Oilers and Avalanche as this continues to roll around. Saved by Skinner. I mean, he's literally not even gloving down pucks fully. He's just kind of letting it hit the glove and coming back the other way. So this one's Janmark across, looking now a good jolt there. So this one coming through the middle now, picked up by Ranton, and Janmark just knocks it off his stick. And 22 seconds to go here in this first period, friends. The Avalanche too, since they've scored that 4-1 goal, haven't quite looked like the same Avalanche that they were on the 1-2-3 goals. So it's kind of where it's at. Now with 8 seconds to go, the Oilers will ice it down the length of the ice. That will do it for the first period of play. The Avalanche, I don't even know why they're skating up the ice so fast, because the period is over, boys. Friends, thank you so much. Of course, a big tip of the hat to Rick this evening for keeping us commercial free the rest of the way through this first period. But we will head on out of here, friends, as really not much left fighting for here tonight. And as much as I'd like to fill dead air, I guess that's kind of one of those things. It is a 7:30 start, and I do want to try and catch up on my sleep at least a little bit before we get to the NHL playoffs. So thank you again for being aboard. Sorry the Oilers decided to, even though tempered expectations, disappoint out of the gate here tonight. We'll get things going. Dylan, welcome in as I'm heading out. But friends, again, if you are new to the channel, I encourage you, hit that subscribe button. We'll talk quite a bit here this weekend prior to the NHL playoffs kicking off, but make sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Thanks for being aboard, friends. We'll catch you tomorrow as we recap things for the Oilers 2023-2024 season. Thanks for being my